as I was eating these, I was like, yes, it's amazing how different. It is just crispier.
The sun is coming up, are you ready to go?
Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've been here. We've been super busy. We moved across the country 7 months ago, and then 1 month ago we bought a house, and so we've been moving into this new house. So I'm excited to be back here today. I have a really great recipe for you guys. We are making French fries, and I know you're probably thinking, French fries, that's easy in the air fryer, right? But I have some really cool tricks that will help you to get like really crispy French fries on the outside, and on the inside it's gonna be nice and soft. The flavor is gonna be delicious. And so stick around because you're gonna want a few of these tips and tricks. And as always, we are making them on my Ninja Foodi Grill. It can also be used as an indoor grill, an air fryer. You can use it with a bake feature as well. So kind of a cool little appliance. In fact, it stays on my counter. I don't keep a lot of appliances on my counter, but this is one that stays on my counter because I use it almost every single day. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make delicious, really crispy French fries at home.
For this recipe, we're going to need a few potatoes, avocado oil, salt, and pepper is optional.
The nice thing about this recipe, it uses just regular russet potatoes, and with French fries, not any potato will give you the same results. So if you're using like a red potato, you're not gonna get the crispiness that you would in a russet potato. So keep that in mind. Other potatoes are really great for mashed potatoes or things like that, but when it comes to French fries, cheap russet potatoes work really great. So also the nice thing is too, it doesn't matter what size, because we're not gonna be using these as baked potatoes, and we're gonna be cutting them up. So you can use any size potato, and really as many or as few as you want. Keep in mind that the more you use and the more crowded your air fryer gets, the longer it will take to crisp them. So the time can vary a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and peel the potatoes and get ready. All right, so let me show you the tool I'm gonna be using for the French fries. These are actually going to be crinkle cut French fries, and they really do come out crispier by making them this way. So I bought this little tool on Amazon, and I'll link it down below if you're interested in getting it. It was super cheap. It was under $10. I wanna say around $7, $8. And super simple, and you're just gonna use it on the board. And it's not sharp, but it is, with enough pressure, it cuts the potatoes pretty easily. So like, you don't have to worry necessarily about cutting yourself, but I guess if you hit your finger fast, it could definitely cut you. Anyways, pretty simple, and it's been working really great for me. So the first thing I do is just cut off the end, and this can totally be used. So depending on how big it is, I usually split it into 2 or 3 pieces. All right, so now we starting to get that little crinkle cut, and I just go down each one so that they're about, I don't know, what would you say, that's maybe about a ½ inch thick, but you really can make these a little thinner or thicker depending on how you like them. And it's pretty easy to do this. Like I said, just kind of go down. And if you're finding that it's difficult to keep the potato from rocking back and forth, what you can do is when you take your first potato, you can either use a regular knife or even this to take one cut that way, and so now it's not going to rock because it's got a flat edge to sit on. So that's an option as well. So, and this again can be used. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of these pieces, and I'm just going to be cutting them into, depending on how large your potato is, I usually do 2 to 3 slices each. So these are how thick mine are going to be. If you make them thinner, they're gonna cook faster. They're gonna be, a little bit more crispy to soft ratio. So you can cut even this size into 4, which makes them about this thick, which is also really good. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do 4 pieces on them. If they're a smaller piece, I might be doing 3. You can also double them up too, make it a little bit faster. We're just putting it right into the water so that we can start getting some of the extra starch out of the potatoes, help them crisp up a little bit. Now, just for the sake of comparison, I am gonna cut up some of my last potato. I'm gonna cut it up into just regular strips, and so I can try to show the difference, I guess, between texture and crispiness. I mean, either way, it's gonna come out good. I've made, potatoes just sliced into French fries so many times. It's delicious. But the crinkle cut really, I think it makes a difference in how crispy they get. Now, when I am cutting it with a knife, I do like to definitely take off that one side so that it's stable, so that I don't cut myself. So here are my French fries, just about this thick. We're gonna go ahead and toss them in the water and let them soak just like the other ones. So you can tell that the water, I just put these in and the water's already starting to turn cloudy, and you can drain that and put fresh water in. Some people do put this in the fridge overnight because it gives them enough soaking time, and then tomorrow they're ready to go for lunch, dinner, whenever they need them. I usually try to give them at least 20 minutes, but I like to try to give them closer to 30 minutes to soak, because you really want to try to draw out the extra starch in the potatoes and make them crispy. In a jam, I've also just thrown them in the water, rinsed them a couple times, you know, drained this and rinsed it a couple times, and then thrown it in my, in the Ninja Foodi Grill to air crisp them, and they've come out just fine. So, you know, really, if you don't have a lot of time, don't worry about it. You don't need to let them soak super long. It may make a slight difference in crispiness. Some say that it also makes a slight difference in taste as well. While the potatoes are soaking, I just wanted to let you know at the end, I want to share a trick that I use that allows me to cook like steaks or burgers on the Ninja Foodi Grill on the grill area, and then time it so that I'm able to have the French fries done at the same time. So it's kind of a cool little trick that you can use, and it works great. So stick around at the end and I'll let you know how I do that with the French fries. So it's been about 30 minutes. Our potatoes are done. I'm gonna go ahead and drain them and I'll show you what to do next. So I'm just gonna use a clean kitchen towel to pat them dry a little bit. You can use paper towels as well. And I think the air fryer dries them out so quickly that I don't think they have to be perfectly dry. And also if they sit out, then they can start to brown a little bit because they oxidize. So this is good. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the same bowl, and there's just like a little bit of like water left on the bottom. So I'm just gonna dry that as well. And we're gonna throw these back in. So real quick, I do want to talk about oil. I think most of you know that you do want to be careful about some of the different oils you use. Like cooking spray that has other additives into it can cause like your, I almost said pressure cooker, your air fryer to get like gunk on it. And so you may want to avoid that. In here is avocado oil. Avocado oil is a great option because it's a little bit the healthier side as opposed to some of the other oils. And also it has a really high smoke point. And so you're applying some pretty high heat to it. And so avocado oil is a really good option. You can use canola oil as well, or vegetable oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spray some on. It doesn't have to be an exact amount, to be honest. I usually probably end up using it. This is not a ton of potatoes. So I usually make sure that they're all kind of coated, and it ends up probably being about 2 tablespoons or so. I'm also going to be adding a little bit of salt. Any salt works. Black pepper is optional. And add a little bit of black pepper. And then sometimes for fun, I do add like a little bit of like garlic powder, or even some onion powder, or a combination of both as well if I want to change it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix these together, and I'm gonna just add a tiny bit more avocado oil and a little bit more salt and pepper. So I just started preheating my Ninja Foodi Grill. You can hear it, it's over here, it's a little bit noisy. And we're doing 390. I did the default at 20 minutes because there's not a lot of French fries, so I know they'll be done in 20 minutes. If you're doing more, then you may want to increase the time so that it doesn't just turn off on you. So I think take anywhere between like, I don't know, probably 15 minutes if you're not doing very many, to I've had it go as long as probably 35 minutes before. So it really depends on how crowded the air fryer gets.
After about 5 minutes, check on your French fries and give them a little stir. Another 5 minutes has passed and the French fries were beginning to brown. They're looking really great, but go ahead and give them another toss. We're gonna let them cook for just a little bit longer.
Okay, so as I just showed you, it's been 10 minutes. I just checked them and they're looking really good, almost there. And so I wanted to tell you that trick that I have that I use, I don't know. When I'm making something on the indoor grill, like burgers or steak or something like that, this is the stage that I wanted to show you. So this is what I do. I get the potatoes ready, soak them, ready to go, right? Throw them in the basket, then get them cooking. When they're at that stage where they're like really close to being finished, right? And it, again, will vary depending on how crowded that basket is. So, but when they're at that stage, when they're getting crispy but not quite there, that is when I would take that whole basket out, put it on something like a pot holder or something that can handle the heat, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn the Ninja Foodi off and put the grill grate on. Get that preheated, get the burgers going, get the steak going, whatever I'm making. And then when the burgers or steak are done and they need that rest time, I take out the grill grate and put that on like a baking sheet or something that can like kind of, if there's like drips from like the grease and stuff like that. So I usually put it on a baking sheet and let that rest, because we know that meat needs to rest before you cut into it, or else you can lose a lot of those delicious juices that make it nice and moist, right? So anyways, I let that rest, and then those French fries that were really close to being finished, I will throw those back into the air fryer. If the bottom of the air fryer is really gunky, maybe you make burgers and sometimes, you know, like you get some gross stuff on the bottom, you could take like a bunch of like paper towels, like a little handful of them or whatever, and be careful and like kind of wipe that out. Or if it's not bad, you can just throw the basket back in, and then I just like start it with the basket already in. Within like 3 minutes or so, like 3 to 5 minutes, they're done and ready to go. So your steak, your burgers, like you're assembling them, you're getting them ready, whatever, right? And then the French fries are done. And then you're like good to go with your meal, right? So kind of a nice little trick, especially if you're wanting to do both things in the air fryer, but you only have one. So kind of cool.
I checked the French fries 4 minutes later and they were done. So it took a total of 14 minutes cook time for my small batch of French fries to finish.
So we have our delicious French fries. They just came out, they're really hot. I'm gonna go ahead and give these a try. Well, first let's do like a little like, I'm gonna break them in half and see if you can tell the difference just from listening. So here is one of our crinkle cut French fries. Oh no, it's like impossible, right? Here's a bite. Sorry, like don't wanna eat with my mouth open, but I want you to hear the crunch. And then here is, let me find a good, okay. And then here's one of the ones that we just cut. Well, you can see it's kind of a little bendy, right? About the same. Okay, let's go ahead and take a bite. Don't know if you can tell the difference. I can when I'm biting into it. These ones, the crinkle cut ones, especially the ones that you make a little bit thinner, like this one, he's kind of like a fat guy. He's a little bit of a thinner guy. Crunchy, so good. You can as well, like if you want them a little extra crispy, you can add like a little bit, like spray a little bit more oil in as they're getting closer to being finished. And then that can kind of like, I find that it makes them a little bit crispier as well. So that's an option as well. But overall, I mean, both French fries taste delicious, like whether they're in this shape or this shape, right? But I think these ones end up a little bit crunchier, and honestly, like when I got this in the mail and I tried it out, I was just so excited. I was like, this is awesome, crinkle cut French fries, and so much healthier than the store-bought ones, so awesome. Also, I do want to note that as the French fries are sitting and cooling, they will get less crispy. So just like French fries you order from a fast food restaurant that are deep fried, or even French fries coming out of your oven, they do start to lose a little bit of their crispiness as they're sitting. Now, if they sit for like a while and you're like, oh, I need to like re-crisp these up, you can totally just throw them in your air fryer for like, if they're done, you're not gonna wanna put them in very long or they'll get too dark, right? But just throw them in for like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, I don't know. Keep an eye on them, that's what I would say. Keep a really close eye, and that will like bring them back to life. So, great tip. All right, and just like ate a bunch of French fries, they're delicious. But I ran out of ketchup, so I had to stop, and I figured I'd end this video. Just want to remind you, the link will be down below for that little crinkle cut. There's like a lot of different options as well, so you can click it, check mine out, check the reviews as well. And then there's so many different options out there, and they're all really, really cheap. So For a little like kitchen tool that's like really inexpensive, to me, 100% worth it. Like I always make them crinkle cut now. I never use the knife to do it. Like as I was eating these, I was like, yes, it's amazing how different. It is just crispier with the crinkle cut. So that, and also I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe because I have more videos coming. I'm super excited to kind of get back on the wagon. I've got some really great ideas. Some in the Ninja Foodi Grill, some just for cooking because I love cooking. All right, well anyways, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching, bye. Just me choking on some french fries. The flat ones are good for when you're down to your like last bit of ketchup. The flat ones are better for like scraping the ketchup off the plate. So keep that in mind. Little update. The ketchup's right behind me, like on the counter, like right behind me. And like, I just keep eating them. I can't stop. So I'm gonna stop being lazy and go get more ketchup.